Welcome to this guide. Let's be honest. If you work with data, you absolutely know the pain of messy text. I mean, random characters, totally inconsistent formats, crucial information just buried in absolute garbage. It's enough to drive anyone crazy, right? Well, today, we are completely demystifying regular expressions in Python. Think of this as your definitive guide to mastering Regex. We're going to take what looks like a chaotic jumble of symbols and turn it into, honestly, your most powerful data processing tool. Just think about your current workflow for a second. Imagine someone hands you a massive, messy text file and says, "Hey, I need you to extract every single valid email address or securely mask all these phone numbers." How do you actually do it? Are you writing endless, heavily nested if statements? Are you honestly trying to hit find and replace manually over and over? Today, we're going to learn how to replace hours, literally hours of manual data cleaning with just a single line of code. Regular expressions are about to become your absolute automated superpower. Okay, here's our agenda for today's explainer. First, what is Regex and why is it necessary? Then we'll open up Python's Regex toolkit, learn the Regex alphabet and rules, and dive into practical applications with code examples. After that, we'll tackle grouping and complex validation, and finally, we'll cover some golden rules and a little challenge for you. Section 1, what is Regex and why is it necessary? So, Regex, which is short for regular expressions, is essentially the language of pattern matching. Think about a prompt like, find every valid email address. As humans, we instantly recognize what an email looks like, but a computer needs a precise map. Regex translates our plain text requests into a specialized language that defines specific search patterns. By tapping into Python's built-in R module, we completely transform tedious, manual text processing into instant, automated extraction. It's a real game changer. Section 2, Python's Regex toolkit. Python actually gives us several distinct functions within that RE module, and honestly, picking the right one is step number 1. If you just need a quick existence check, re.search grabs the very first match it sees. But if you want to extract every single occurrence of a pattern and put it into a neat list, you're going to reach for re.findAll. Need strict formatting? Go with re.match. And if you want to clean up your data, re.sub is absolutely your go-to for swapping text out. Let's see how this actually behaves when we write the code. Look at the difference in execution here. We've got a simple string. Python started in 1991. Python 3 came out in 2008. Notice that when we use re.search looking for Python, the engine stops the millisecond it finds that very first Python from 1991. It literally ignores everything else. But using re.findAll for Python, the engine scans the whole document, extracting both the 1991 instance and the 2008 instance, handing us back a nice list of 2 items. Section 3, the Regex alphabet and rules. All right, to actually write this code, we need our building blocks, which are known as character classes. Think of these as your shorthand. Instead of typing out every single number from 0 to 9, we just use a backslash and a lowercase d to represent any digit. Want letters, numbers, or underscores? Just use \w for alphanumeric characters. \s handles whitespace, and this is crucial. Pay attention to the capitalization here. If you use a capital D, it entirely reverses the logic, meaning match anything that is not a digit.
But characters alone just aren't enough. We have to control the flow. Like, how many digits do we want? Where exactly should they be? Well, that's where quantifiers and anchors step in. The plus sign simply means one or more of the preceding character. Curly braces say with a 4 inside, demand an exact count, which is perfect for a 4-digit year. Then we've got our anchors. The caret symbol locks your search to the absolute beginning of a string, and the $sign locks it right to the end.
Section 4, practical applications with code examples. Let's actually deconstruct a pattern for date extraction to see this code in detail. Say we want to extract dates formatted like 25-05-2024 or 26/05/2024. We kick things off with \d and curly braces with a 2 inside that D, 2, to grab exactly 2 digits for the day. Next, notice those square brackets around the hyphen and slash. Square brackets tell the engine to match any one of the characters inside, allowing either a hyphen or a slash as our delimiter. We repeat that for the month, add another delimiter, and wrap up with that D4 for the 4-digit year. By passing this specific pattern into r.findAll, boom, we instantly pull out perfectly formatted dates from incredibly messy text. Now check out this before and after. Imagine a nightmare string just totally injected with random symbols and numbers. On the other side, we want perfectly clean text. So how do we programmatically strip away all that garbage without writing like a dozen different replace functions? We use what I like to call the scrubber. which is the re.sub function. Let's read this exact Python pattern carefully. R show a show.z show slash. Inside those square brackets, we have that caret symbol. When a caret is the very first thing inside square brackets, it acts as a not operator. So this code literally tells Python, target every single character that is not a lowercase letter, not an uppercase letter, and not a white space. Re.sub takes all that garbage and swaps it out with an empty string. You're left with pristine, totally clean data. And this exact technique is brilliant for dynamic data masking, especially for privacy and compliance. If you're handling personally identifiable information, or PII, you obviously can't leave it in plain text. Take a look at this incredibly elegant line of code. re.sub rvd, star, phone data. Just a few characters and Python instantly targets every single digit in that string and swaps it for an asterisk. The formatting stays totally intact, but the sensitive numbers are compliantly redacted way before they ever hit a database.
Section 5. Grouping and complex validation.
Okay, this is where we get into structural extraction using grouping. By wrapping parts of our regex pattern in parentheses, we basically create isolated segments. Look at this code pattern. R, username, W plus, ID, 2D. We are telling Python to look for that entire phrase, but, and this is key, to save whatever matches inside the parentheses. Once we run re.search, we can cleanly call match.group1 to pull just the username and match.group2 for the ID. It is ridiculously powerful for things like parsing massive log files.
Let's level up and tackle a really classic regex challenge, real-world email validation. I know it looks chaotic at first glance, but if we break it down, it strictly follows 4 super logical steps: username, the @symbol, the domain name, and the top-level domain.
Let's walk through this exact code architecture piece by piece. First, the username, square brackets with \w, a dot, and a hyphen, followed by a plus sign, means we accept one or more alphanumeric characters, dots, or hyphens. Next, we hit the literal @symbol. After that, the domain name basically follows the exact same rules as the username. Finally, the top-level domain. Since a dot normally means any character in regex, we have to escape it with a backslash to literally mean a period. Then we specify lowercase a to z and uppercase a to z with curly braces 2, 4, ensuring it ends with 2 to 4 alphabetical letters, like .com or .org. That is exactly how you architect complex validation from the ground up.
Section 6. Golden rules and the challenge.
Look, if your Python script is chewing through millions of rows of data, performance is absolutely critical. Instead of having Python evaluate the regex string on every single row from scratch, you need to pre-compile the pattern using re.compile. By compiling the pattern once into an optimized regex object and then running your execute loop using that specific object, you strip out redundant overhead. It drastically speeds up execution times for any large-scale production code. Which brings us to the 2 golden rules of regex in Python. Rule number 1, always prefix your regex strings with a lowercase r, creating a raw string. If you skip this, Python might try to interpret backslashes as native escape characters like \n for a new line, and that will completely break your pattern. Rule 2, never deploy complex regex blindly. Use visual debuggers like regex101.com to prototype, test, and debug your patterns before they ever touch your production code.
To wrap up, here is your complete Python regex quick reference blueprint. It covers the core toolkit we went over, the vocabulary of character classes, and the logic flow of quantifiers. If you're going to screenshot anything today, make it this. It's the perfect summary of everything you need to start writing powerful automated text processing scripts in Python.
And that wraps up our explainer. But I want to leave you with a bit of a challenge. Looking at this messy text string and based on the exact code techniques, character classes, and anchors we just broke down, can you write the precise Python pattern to extract only the valid websites? Give it a shot, test it out, and unlock your new data superpower. Thanks for hanging out with me, and happy coding.